What's up, everybody? It's your favorite hood healer. It's your favorite hood high priestess. It's your favorite motivational dominatrix. It's your favorite auntie, captain, goddess, king. LadySpeech in the place to be, and I want to welcome you back to this here channel. You could be anywhere, absolutely anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world, and you're also sharing a little bit of time and space with me. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling this, if you're feeling me, then make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notifications bell. Notifications bell. Notifications bell. So you can keep up with all these here happenings and shenanigans and going-ons and things. Now, let's get into this video. Shall we? Healing is a whole entire journey and lifestyle, not a destination. Let's talk about it. When I started my healing journey at 18 years old, when I left the house, I very much understood that I was broken in some capacities. I looked at myself as a broken person. I was very much like, I knew that there was things to be fixed. I knew that I was very much affected in a negative way by all of the abuse that I had survived, from the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, sexual abuse. I knew that I was not in a good place mentally, emotionally, physically. I just wasn't in a good place in all the ways. And I knew that in order for me to be successful in life, that I was going to need to fix myself, that I was going to need to heal myself, that I was going to need to work on myself. I was super clear about that. And I was super focused on that when I left my house. I was super, super determined not only to be a success in life as in regards to how I define success for me, but I knew that, like, I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to live a healthier lifestyle than I had ever lived. I knew that I wanted to address the issues that had been created in me because of all of the things that I'd survived. And I knew that I was going to be a very mean and abusive person, intentionally and unintentionally, if I did not do that, if I did not take my healing on and start immediately. So when I left the house at 18 years old, I ended up going into a youth homeless shelter. And in that youth homeless shelter, I remember getting a caseworker, and that's a whole story. I will tell you guys the story of me transitioning into youth homelessness. But I remember when I got to the youth homeless shelter, you get a caseworker. You get a caseworker, and so I got a caseworker. And I was actually very excited for that. I wasn't someone who was in and out of the system, although in a lot of capacities I should have been. I was super excited for my caseworker, and I knew, I was like, I want therapy. I need therapy. I need to talk to somebody. I want therapy. I need therapy. I need therapy. So the first thing that when I sat down with my counselors, my caseworker, they just started asking me my story. They could tell that I was really articulate. When I came in, I was on something different, than the other homeless youth. I wasn't better than the homeless youth in any way, shape, or form, but I moved and maneuvered differently than what they had seen at the moment and at the time. So my caseworker was like, tell me how you got here, because you really kind of don't seem like you should be here. And I was like, well, yes and no. Let's talk about it. So I got into it. I broke it down. I just vomited. I was willing. I wanted to tell my story, baby. I wanted to tell my story. This was shortly after I named myself LadySpeech. So, and I'll tell you that in a whole video as well, how I gave myself this name. And so, I wanted to tell it, and I told it, and I didn't leave nothing out. I was so clear about what I had experienced up to there, the abuse, and my caseworker was like, holy crap! And I was like, yeah, it's been a lot. That's what I'm here. It's been a lot. I'm a little nutso. I'm a little crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm not all right. Let's get what we gotta get. So immediately, she she takes out her pen and her pad and she starts making all these recommendations. She's like, yes, we're going to get you in to see all these people, all these things. And I'm going to get you medicated. And that made me pause. I was like, you ain't even medicated. She's like, yeah, we're going to get you on some medication. And I was kind of like, it's not the route I want to go. Even if it's determined that I do need medication, number one, I don't think one meeting is enough to determine that. And number two, I don't want to do that. Before we do that, I want therapy. I want to talk to someone. I want that time. This is what I want to do. I know that what's wrong with me isn't going to be fixed just by medication. That could help with some of the symptoms that I am dealing with on a day-to-day basis, but that's not going to fix me. That's not going to help me on a long-term basis. I just knew. And at that moment, I also became clear that the industry was going to try to medicate me and not try to help me. And so I just clear a voice. Now I know it was my ancestors. They were very much like, no, you need to really take this up. If you want to be well, you're going to need to take this up. You're going to need to take this mantle and you're going to need to run with it. And ultimately, I sat down and I was like, I want to be well. I really do want to be well. I'm not well. I come from a family that has not been well for a long time. The reason why I was abused and neglected and abandoned by my parents, by my family, is because we aren't mentally okay. We're not well, and I know I'm not well, and I want to make a long-term commitment to that. So that's what I did. I laid in my little bed. I laid in my little dormitory style bed, and I dedicated myself to my healing. I just knew that, and that's all I had. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this looks like. I know I need to heal. I know I need to get better. And I know I need to dedicate myself to it. And I know it's going to take a long time. Now, here's the thing. I knew it was going to take a long time for a lot of things. And, but for a lot of things, I thought that, hey, I'm going to heal it. It's going to take a long time. And then it's going to be done. Like, I'm going to heal myself and I'm just going to get through these issues and I just won't deal with these issues anymore after I heal them because it's just one and done. Like, I got it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to fix it and then it's going to be done. You know? So that was my mistake. The first good thing I did was to think about the fact that this was going to take a while. My mistake was thinking that I was just going to heal it all and just eradicate all the issues and be okay and that's it. And I learned. I freaking learned. So first and foremost, before I go on, I just want to say this video is for all the new healers, all the new folks who are just now really getting into the lifestyle of healing. This is for you. And this video is also for those of us who've been in the game for a second, who've been healing ourselves for a while. And sometimes we forget that healing is a whole journey and not a destination. So it was in that moment in the homeless shelter that I understood that I was going to need to dedicate myself to my healing journey if I was going to get anywhere. If I was going to get any type of place, if I was going to actually make a dent in my healing, I was going to need to dedicate myself to that. And that's exactly what I did. I dedicated myself to my own healing, and then in the middle of that, I got good at it. And Spirit came to me, Creator came to me, and my spiritual team came to me, and my community came to me, and were like, you're actually good at doing this with us as well. So then I began to pursue it. I began to pursue being a healer for myself and my community very early on and very formally. And I started developing my skills. And as I started developing my skills, as I continued to work on myself, as I continued to work under other healers, it became very clear that healing was going to take my whole life. I came into my healing journey like, I'm just going to heal it and then be done and move on with the rest of my life. It took a couple of years of me continuously healing to figure out that, like, this has to be a lifestyle. It has to underscore absolutely every single aspect of my life. Healing needed to underscore my romantic relationships, my familial relationships, my platonic relationships. It had to underscore my finances. I needed to heal in every single aspect of my life: romance, finances, spirituality, mental, physical, emotional, my body. It became super clear, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a never-ending thing then. this is a never-ending journey. This is a never-ending journey. I'm always going to have there's always something to heal. That came up real quick. Not only is there always something to heal, once you work on something and you successfully either get it to a place where you're functioning in a healthier way, or you've actually eradicated, what you're going to discover is there's another issue up under that or adjacent to that you need to address. Not only that, but it ain't just about you. I'm always talking about the fact that your healing is your ancestors' healing. Just like some of your trauma is your ancestors' trauma. So healing being a whole journey and not a destination is also because of that. My ancestors, my recent ancestors, have endured hundreds of years of systematic oppressive torture. Mentally, emotionally, physically, politically, in all of the ways. Spiritually, in all of the ways. Financially, in all of the ways. If I am blessed to live till 117 years old, and I have healed for 90 of those years, I would have made a really big dent. I will make a really big dent in my family. I will heal us. I will eradicate a lot of issues, but also I'm not going to address, even in my 117 years, 90 years worth of healing, those hundreds of years worth of oppression in my one little lifetime. Healing is a journey. It is a lifestyle. It is not a destination for these reasons, because there is always going to be something to heal. When I used to teach in the at-risk sector, I would always tell my kids that life doesn't get better. And I would be talking to kids who were like me, who had survived a lot of abuse, substance addicted parents, all kinds of tragic, crazy stories. And I would tell my kids, life doesn't get better. It doesn't. You, however, can get better. And if you manage to get better, then I'm going to tell you that life hits different. And I'm going to tell you that you process life different. And I'm going to tell you that life comes at you different. And you're going to be able to create and manufacture so many more better days in your life than you will have bad days. But the bad days don't stop. They don't stop. Traumatic things don't stop happening. When you make healing your lifestyle, when you think of it as a journey, not a destination, then you will always be prepared. I don't live my life in a pessimistic space or in a negative tone. I'm not forever looking for the bottom to drop out of things, but I am prepared for when life comes at you. I am prepared for when I experience a loss. I am prepared when I mess up and I negatively affect myself. I am prepared when my own mental health issues or other things come up and I need to heal from it or I need to deal with it. I'm prepared when pain comes. Because healing is a lifestyle, because healing is a journey, I am prepared when pain comes. I'm prepared when trauma comes. I'm ready. I know that something needs to be done, and I have developed a lot of tools in order to help myself through those things. This video was actually inspired by the fact that the last 2 days, my complex PTSD, which I do deal with due to the amount and the type of trauma that I went to and how consistent it was when I was younger, I deal with complex PTSD. And you can look it up. I might do a whole video about that if y'all want me to. But the last 2 days, especially due to everything that's been going on in America, my complex PTSD got the best of me. It got the best of me. And I felt it. I felt it coming on. I felt myself responding. I knew exactly what this was. And I just walked right into it. You know, when I experience complex PTSD flare-ups, it's not something I can really stop. It's something that it's not something I can stop. It's something, because healing is a journey and a lifestyle for me, it's something that I manage. It's something that I cope with. It's something that I deal with. And these days I deal with it in a way more positive space than what I used to. But it's something that I deal with. You know what I'm saying? And so this, dealing with it made me think about the fact that, like, I wrote a status today that was about the fact that I'm really grateful. That the status was basically, the past 2 days, my complex PTSD has gotten the best of me. I'm really grateful for my coping skills I've learned over the years. I'm really grateful for all of the healers that have helped me through this. I'm really grateful for all of the resources that I have to help me heal. And writing that status this morning reminded me, like, yeah, healing is a whole journey. And I don't say these things to y'all and without speaking to me. I'm not better than y'all. Most of this content that I create is about me and it's for me. And I share it because over the years, y'all have told me that a lot of y'all benefit from it. So I'm not just preaching to the choir. You know, I really work with these things within myself. So healing is a journey and not a destination. And because I frame my life like that, when these moments happen, I am able to show myself so much more grace. This latest complex PTSD flare has been the most gracious I've ever been with myself. And I've been working up to this moment where I could just be gracious to myself. And graciousness is different than just not being judgmental. I don't judge myself for my symptoms, for anything that I go through. I don't judge myself for it. However, I have been known to not be gracious to myself. I do not give myself a lot of grace. I'm very hard and harsh on myself a lot when I work through and I'm healing myself or when I mess up. So this is the first time I've showed myself this amount of softness and grace. And this is a testament to the fact that healing is it's a journey and it's not a destination. I've been working on this. And because I've been working on this, it has gotten better. This last episode that I've been going through, 10 years ago, this would have been accompanied by a whole lot of self-sabotage, an incredible amount of self-destruction, and I would have messed up a whole lot of things for myself and for people in my life. And I'm not there. I'm absolutely not there. Have I eradicated experiencing symptoms from PTSD? Nope. No, I'm not. And there's a lot of those things that I'm not going to eradicate within my lifetime. This is just how my brain works. There's some things that have happened to you. There's some ways that you've been wired due to your trauma that you're not going to come out of that. That's just how you work now. And it is about crafting the healthiest life for you. So, but am I able to be more gracious? Yes. Am I better at managing my symptoms from PTSD? Yes. Am I way more confident? Yes. And am I better at sharing? Yes, I am. So my loves, healing is a whole journey, not a destination. I know a lot of times when we're on a healing journey, you work on things or certain subjects, certain things that you pinpoint in your life, and you work on them and you work on them and you work on them, and then you reach a space where you feel like you've really handled that, and then you come back to, you get triggered again. And a lot of people are like, I thought I worked on this, like I feel worthless. And don't ever feel worthless. This is a journey. And I also want to take the time to say that healing doesn't only happen on the mental level. A lot of us, we go to therapy, which is great, but that's only one body that we're healing. I'm always speaking to the fact that healing happens on the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual bodies. So going to therapy is great, but that's working with the mental body. Healing on the emotional body is a thing. Healing on the physical body is a thing. Healing in the spiritual plane and on the spiritual body is a thing. And a lot of times you might have worked it out in the mental space, but you have not worked it out in the heart space. You have not worked it out in the physical space. You have not addressed it in the spiritual space. So just because you worked it on in one plane, sometimes the signal, when you're triggered, it means you got to work on it from a different perspective or in a different body. So for all of you out there who might have been taking, you might be in a space right now where you have taken 100 steps forward and you've taken 98 steps back. You've moved forward 2 steps. Do not overthink it. Do not demonize yourself. Do not get mad at yourself. Do not, because that's life. That's life. And that is the healing journey. There are going to be times when you take 100 steps forward and no steps back. There's going to be times when you take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. There's going to be times when you take 1 step forward and a half step back. As long as your behind keeps on stepping, that's all that matters. Keep it stepping, baby. Keep it pushing. Keep it healing. Okay? And remember to take your time and breathe. When you focus on healing as a lifestyle and not a journey, then you are able to relax and take your time. Everything becomes less urgent. You can recognize that there are a billion ways that you are messed up, and then you can just take your time and bite off a little chunk of that at a time, okay? I recognized at 18 about 15,000 different issues that I needed to fix, and I pinpoint the ones that were the heaviest, that were causing me the most strife and trouble, and I worked on those so I felt like I was in a good space, and then, you move on, so forth and so on. So for anybody struggling right now, if you feel like you've backtracked, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If you feel like you're not making any moves forward because you stepped a couple of steps back, it's okay. If your healing journey is going slow, know that it's okay. If you have been triggered in an issue you've been working on for a long time and you just knew in your bones and your soul that you were done with that issue and you figured that you ain't done with that issue, it's okay. This is your reminder that healing is an entire entire journey. It is a whole lifestyle. It is not a destination. All right? So take your time. Take your time. Don't judge yourself. Love yourself. Take your time. And know this. Wherever you are in your healing journey, baby, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for being brave enough to address the things that need to be addressed. I'm proud of you for looking at your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical health and addressing the things that need to be addressed inside of that. I'm proud of you. And know that healing is not for the faint of heart. It's only for the gangster. It's only for the gangster. Ancestral healing, emotional healing, mental healing, physical healing. It is not for the faint of heart. It's only for the gangster. So I'm super proud of you for taking it on. I'm super proud of you for taking it on. And that's that on healing. And that's that on therapy. And that's that on breaking ancestral curses. Hello. Goodbye. If you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so very much for your support. And I hope you are out here in these streets healing yourself, staying warm, doing what you got to do to take care of you. Now, you know the drill. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling this and if you're feeling me, make sure you hit that like button, baby. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notifications bell, honey, so you can keep up with all of these happenings, these shenanigans, these vlogs, these videos, all kinds of stuff. And you would want to keep up with these shenanigans, baby. I live a pretty exciting life sometimes. And then sometimes it's kind of boring. You know, balance. Anyway, it's getting dark out. My lighting is leaving me. If we're honest, my lighting left the building a long time ago, but I'm determined to get this video, honey. I am determined to get this video, baby. Bad lighting and all. Sometimes it's not about the lighting. It's about the message. And that's that on sunsets. All right, y'all. I'm going to let you go. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Have a good evening. Have a good middle of the night, midday. Whenever you encounter this video, I hope you're having a good rest of that. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I hope you hear me. And I will see all of you lovelies in the next video. Mwah. Peace.